Good morning, my trading buddies. It is 10:48 a.m. on Tuesday after, or let me do it this way, or sorry, Wednesday, Wednesday? No, Thursday. It is Thursday, November 3rd. Getting close to Election Day. Normally, Election Day is November 3rd, but unfortunately, this week, or this month, or this year, it's next week. Wanted to show you what's going on in the stock market here today, making perfect sense. My account's actually up well today because long oil, long industrials, Raytheon and Gilead and Honeywell are actually performing pretty well today. So wanted to show you exactly what's going on in the market. Here's the XLP, consumer durable or consumer staples. It is breaking down out of its trend line here now. It's done with its rally, but it's consolidating very nicely. 97.91 is a pretty low number. We have to watch that. That should strengthen the rest of the day. If it weakens the rest of the day, then organized selling will get disorganized. Right now we have organized selling. That's where the green comes in and the breakdown in that market. Here's the XLE. Some interesting things. We broke from our caution yesterday to our strong rally again today. If we do that math, we're expecting a rally here to 93.22. 93.22 on the XLE. 78.06 is the downside there. But we can do the math there. 0.8348 divided by 0.8318 gives us the percentage. We then take the percentage, add it to 89.99, and we come up with 93.22. So oil up, oil up, oil up. It has continued in its strong rally. It's not going anyplace, that 1.0 column there. And we do have a little bit of consolidated selling, but it is organized selling because of the green there. So what's happening is there is a little bit of shaving going on in the XLE because it's run so hard. And the big hedge funds that are running out of money all around the globe are all having to trim, and they're trimming logically there. So that's what's going on there. XLU utility sector, again, still in its rally there, 66.21 today. And everything's looking good there. Again, a little bit of selling, 98.06, 98.08, but organized green selling, so that's all good. XLK, what we were expecting here, collapsing, which is good because the tech run is all over. The cost of borrowing is now soaring. Because the cost of where that money could otherwise go to has higher opportunities. So tech is selling off. We've broken down out of our trend. We can tell ourselves exactly, we know exactly where it's going to be going to. If we take 0.8350 divided by 0.8325, and then if we take 0.8325 divided by 0.8322, that gives us some idea of what our downside is. But what you see there is the blues. Again, organized selling here today. Other times when there's been blue, there hasn't been organized selling. You see that red come in there, but there has been organized trimming today so far. And as long as that stays that way, nothing too serious there. It's broken out of its trend higher, that 1.0 column. And we're now trending down. Exactly what we're expecting. XLB, interesting. This is the materials sector. It has not been in its rally at all. No 1.0 column there. And we're doing some consolidation there, printing that 9740. People are starting to realize, and associates across the globe are starting to realize, that electrification by 2030 is a pipe dream. It will never, ever, ever happen. And that's why you have people like Greta Thunberg today out there saying that the only way we're ever going to get to reset is to go and crush the free market systems around the globe and make everything communist. That's what she's out there talking about today, or socialist at the very least, hard socialist. That's Greta Thunberg, a person who's like 21 years old and has no understanding of the concepts of business. XLY, that's why we were ever listening to her, I have no clue. It's one of those weird things that happened. XLY, which is the consumer. As you can see, the consumer is starting to fail as well here too. Breaking out of that trend line, the 1.0 has come to an end a long time ago, 145, 136, far lower to go. We can do the math, and we can look at 0.8373 or 0.8344 divided by 0.8310 to be able to give us some kind of an idea on where this is going to. We do have organized selling going on. Now, finally, for the first time, we had some disorganized selling a couple days ago, but we have some organized selling here now today. XLC, the communication sector, has completely broken down, as I've been telling you in all of my videos that it would. I kept saying short, short, short. Nobody is paying their cell phone bill. When I was over at my Tele store, where my wonderful representative Tamara at the Tecumseh Mall store, Tamara was awesome, and I would highly suggest that you go in and see Tamara if you need a new phone. If you have customer service stuff, go in and see somebody else. Simply because she doesn't make any commission when she's helping you with customer service stuff, and she deserves to make a commission. She's really good at what she does. But the Tele store was packed with people. I couldn't believe that they canceled my cell phone. I need to use my credit card to pay my bill, please. It's the saddest of things, but it's going on in droves at your local Tele store. You know, the Kudo store, of course, had nobody there because nobody has a Kudo. But the Tele store was packed with people. Oh my gosh, I got to pay my bill. Here's my pennies. Here's my little red wagon with my pennies in it. Will you count my pennies for me, please, and pay my bill? That's what it's come down to, and it will only get worse from here. And then we have, so where's it at? It's breaking down. We have to watch that 0.9769. It has not painted blue as of yet. And we need to watch those green spots to make sure that they don't turn blue. But it is way outside of its zone, that 1.0 range next to that blue there. 50 to 45 and continuing lower now. It's broken down under its support levels. XLF, very, very interesting. XLF, the bank should be doing okay because they've got so much money on reserve at the Federal Reserve. They're making really good money off the money that they have at the Federal Reserve, and that 1.0 has weakened a little bit, so we'll have to keep an eye on that. But then we're green, green, green across the board from organized selling, so all of that stuff looks good. XLV, which is the hospitals. Hospitals have reported, you know, this is a sucky time to be a hospital. Nobody's paying their bill. Again, problem with paying bills in this country. Broken down out of its gain. It's 1.0172, 0.9960. Still green. All that stuff could bounce back. Hopefully it bounces back. Hopefully it finds some money to consolidate there. But 129.80 and 119.54 could be breaking down here. We'll have to keep an eye on that because it is organized selling. 9792, we have to make sure that that doesn't drop underneath 9750 and become disorganized selling, because then it could drop further. So far, the Dow is down 163, holding up very, very well. XLI, the industrials. Again, industrials bounced back. They opened the day lower, 91.66. They're 93.14, so that's a good, strong showing for today. 93.57 is actually stronger. Still in their uptrend, 1.0126. And organized selling, all that stuff looks good. Where are we at with the broad market here? Notice how we're 1.0, 1.0, 1.0, 0.8340, which is above yesterday, 0.8335. So after the Fed came in, they crushed the market from 0.83478 to 0.8335 in that last 90 minutes. But then this morning, the internals on the Dow, that's why the Dow is actually holding up pretty well today. The internals on the Dow, 0.83405, actually an increase over yesterday's close. Now, we do have organized selling coming in there, which we see again here in our data sets there, 0.9752, which is just barely hanging on from printing blue. So we need some buying to come in here. Our trend is broken, 1.0094 to 0.9968. Our trend should be lower from here, which we already know that it is, and we're going to get to where we're expecting it to go. And then we've also printed some red negative sell sides there. Here's where the Dow is, 31,983, 31,980 now. Notice that negative 0.62E05. That's not necessarily a good printing when you're looking at mathematical equations. And the 1.032, we've been there before, 1.032. 1.0017, 1.0198. And every time we've done that, we have rallied a little bit, but then we've sold back off. So I don't know. I think that there's the possibility that the Dow could be the strongest place here, obviously, as money leaves the tech sector and comes into the Dow. And they're going to be coming into the Dow in the oils and the materials, the golds, the silvers, that kind of stuff, the hard asset types of things. But what our range is that we were otherwise expecting in this Dow. So if we go 32,798 there, 32,798. And we see that we've got 31,850. We're not there yet. We've got 31,730. We're not there yet. And we've got 31,546. So in our pictograph, we did break down 32,798. That was fine. We broke down underneath that. We had no justification for that number anyway. Now, the problem becomes, do we break under 31,850? If we break under 31,850, then 31,730, then 31,546, and then we could retrace down to, as you can see there, 29,641, 29,356, 28,340. The question becomes, do we retrace down? That would assume that oil rolls over and metals roll over and the banking sector rolls over and the industrials roll over. I'm not seeing that yet. I'm seeing organized selling in those. I'm seeing some trimming going on in those, but I'm not seeing anything that would otherwise preclude me to believe that there's something terrible afoot here. So my own account today is doing well, and at least last time I checked. So all seems to be fine and normal as long as your positioning is in the correct positioning. It is a narrow market right now. It is. And hopefully get some broadness coming in here. So we'll see what happens in the next few days going into the midterm elections. We know how the midterm elections are going to come out anyway. We know that the Republicans are going to sweep into power and let the investigations begin. So thank you so much for watching. Have a great day. Bye-bye.